And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Monday, February 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We welcome you on this Monday. Let's see, 46 degrees, I believe is what my car thermometer said. It's the wind's picking up out there a little bit, but it's going to be a nice day, a magnificent Monday, and we welcome you to our program. And, of course, we're on the air for Absolute Kubota. Don Hamlet is here this morning. We'll go ahead and say hello to you, Don.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you. See
You
the
too.
Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like the way it ended?
It was fine by me.
Okay.
Titans wasn't in it, but it was fine. It was a pretty good game.
We do start every Monday morning off with a representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. And they also carry Exmark mowers. Exmark is one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. Now, Absolute Kubota is located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. And again, Don Hamlet is with us today. Don is in sales at Absolute Kubota. Right now, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and open 7 to 4 on Saturdays. They're located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon behind Advance Auto Parts. Look for their big sign or the orange tractors. The phone number is 615-449-6171. And the website is www.absolutekubota.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. Well, we've got you for the month of February.
All right.
You and Jonathan kind of swap months for the most part, and seems to work well. You get up early on Mondays one month and get to sleep a little later maybe the next. I don't do or not, but you could probably.
No, I still got to be there. I was supposed to have been there 5 minutes ago, so maybe somebody's there in sales this morning.
Well, what you got for us?
Well, I've got three things. Your first guest and I were sitting here talking about our lawns and stuff this morning to get started with. Like to kind of let everybody know that, we do have a lawn program that we kind of talk to our customers about, and it kind of starts in the late winter this time of the year, and we were discussing whether or not when would be the perfect time to do it. What you want to do is get your pre-emergence out before the soil temperature, not the ambient air temperature, but before your soil temperature gets up into the 50s and stuff. And when seeds start germinating, and that would keep your crabgrass and things like that from coming. And it looks like this year may be an early spring. I know Groundhog said it was going to be yesterday. I don't know how much we can depend on that. But, when your soil temperatures get up, you need to get that thing in. Get your pre-emergence in. We do have a program sheet printed up there to shop that you can get, and it kind of lets you know that in this month do this, so many weeks later repeat the process. Of course, we're always talking about aerating, overseeding, different things like that. So we do have those programs. We have a new young man working for us named Ben. You may call into the shop there, and someone may transfer you. Let's say we're going to transfer you over to Ben. Hopefully he'll pick up. If not, you can leave him a message, and he's been calling everybody back. And he's an expert in this, and he can help you out. He'll actually even come out and maybe do some soil testing for you and see what needs to be done to your soil to get them prepped, to get everything going.
So Ben is your lawn care man.
He is.
Right.
He is very good at it. And then we've got a couple of more things going this coming weekend. I know I've got a busy week trying to get some things together for that. Friday night, February the 7th, Sherry's Run is going to be having Mardi Gras up at the Capitol Theater here on the square. That's going to, I think it's opened up around 6. Dinner's going to be served around 7. But we've got an Exmark lawnmower that we're going to be donating for them to auction off. So if you've been thinking about an Exmark lawnmower, it might be a great time to go up and serve two purposes. You can help Sherry's Run out. Plus, you can get you a nice Exmark lawnmower. We give one away, with them every year. We don't give it away. I guess you auction it off and you're purchasing it.
Yeah.
So that's coming up Friday night. And then also Friday night, the Southern Home and Garden Expo will be going on Friday night from 4 to 8, and then Saturday 9 to 5. Ben will have a special booth out there talking about our landscape products, and then we'll also have a booth out there, mostly with our lawnmowers and different things like that. But you could always come up and talk to us about a tractor or something like that. There'll be somebody in the booth the whole time. I want to invite everybody to come out. We're also going to have a registration and drawing out there. We're going to be giving away this year a string trimmer for your grass, a backpack blower, and hedge trimmers to some lucky person that comes out and registers and talks to us. So come on out.
Backpack floor.
String trimmer and a hedge trimmer.
All right.
All three.
Yeah.
So it's a good package. I think it's valued pretty close to $1,000. So, it's going to be a good package for somebody to come out and see us and register and win that.
Well, if you do a good job on your lawns, you need those items.
Absolutely. Those are all three things you'll need on your property.
Those hedges, shrubs need to be trimmed and look neat. And
that's right.
They can grow awkwardly if you don't keep them trimmed. I know that.
They very much can. It's not much fun, but man, it looks good when it's done, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. So. Well, you got all this going, plus you got another month before daylight saving time gets here. I think it's a month from today, actually.
Is that when it is? That'll be good. So I'm sure that'll be a Saturday night sometime whenever that happens. And we'll get back
actually,
up.
I was thinking about the Monday.
Okay.
It'll actually start on Sunday morning at 2:00,
sure.
which is be a month from yesterday.
And whenever that happens, we'll extend our hours and we'll be open until 6 p.m. in the afternoons during the week. So.
Well, you got a lot going, whether it's Kubota, whether it's Exmark, whether it's lawn care, or even renting things.
That's right.
Philip and the people there, and they got two good guys in sales too.
I hope so.
Don Hamlet, Jonathan Manning, and they alternate here on Mondays. Good to see you. We'll do it again next Monday.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We're 10 minutes after the hour, and State Representative Susan Lynn is my guest this morning, and. Representative Lynn, we welcome you again to Coleman and Company.
Hi there. They've been coming here for a long time. I've been coming here for a long time, and I always follow their advice on when to put out the pre-emergent, when to fertilize in the fall, and we really have had the most beautiful lawn following their advice.
Well, good.
I want you to know that. It's true.
I'm sure they're glad to hear you say that.
But last spring, we had our front lawn dug up the septic field, and it has just ruined the look of the lawn. The dirt didn't go down as smoothly as it was, so we're going to have some work on that. So yeah. I'll talk to Mr. Lynn about these guys. Maybe we can get our lawn looking really great again.
Well, I'll bet they can help you a lot.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since you were here. What's happened primarily last week, but the last 2 weeks?
The last 2 weeks, usually when we are first elected, the first 2 weeks is organizational. So we actually aren't holding any meetings or anything like that. But in the second half of the General Assembly, we are holding meetings. So I know for myself, in the Finance Committee, my first committee meeting was simply organizational. I have a lot of new members on the committee. There's 26 members now, and I have an additional subcommittee, so we've got 2 subcommittees now. So I held an organizational meeting. I went over the rules for the committee, the procedure of how we decide which bills get put behind the budget, and what that means is we have to pass a budget with its full funding before so we know how much we're funding before we decide on legislation that we're going to fund. And I know that sounds tricky, so we really kind of do it concurrently. It's just that the budget passes first, and then all those bills pass. So I remember last year, after we passed the budget, we could then unleash all of the bills out of subcommittee. And so they came through sub, and then they came through full. And we just go really fast because we know what we're going to pass. And we just passed the budget. All the bills are funded. And there were some people on Twitter saying, oh, my gosh, they don't even let people talk. They don't even have it. Well, no, we had already done all that. All these bills were funded by the budget we had just passed. We were letting them out. And so it was kind of like my sub chair and I. He let them out of sub to full, and then I let them from full to the floor. And we just went fast. I mean, we tore it up. And everybody told me I was actually faster than him. So it's a lot of fun letting those bills out, and everybody gets really excited to know that their bill is going to be funded. Some people are disappointed because their bill won't be funded, but, sometimes it's just not time for that.
How do you arrive at that? I mean, you pretty much know which bills are going to, that are really necessary.
Right.
and then others may or may not make it.
Right. How do we arrive at that? Well, it's a long process, actually. As we're going through session, what I did, my predecessor didn't do this, but what I did was I held a midpoint meeting for leadership. So as the bills are coming through, we're putting them behind the budget because they cost money. So we can't pass them yet. I held what's called a midpoint meeting, and so I have the speaker and our top leadership and my chair, my sub-chairs, and my vice chair. We all meet and we talk about the policy issues regarding these bills. And we pick out the bills that, we think are the best policy. Because, there's a lot of good bills that make it to Finance Committee, but we can't fund everything because we would just inflate our budget way too much. But particularly things that maybe it's one-time revenue, well, that's not going to be ongoing year after year. That is certainly a good consideration. Things that are doing well in the Senate. If a bill's not moving in the Senate, we're not going to have it on our list, even if we like it. It's not moving in the Senate, so it's just on the back burner. And then just other policy issues. Maybe there's things that go hand in glove with some initiatives that the governor is passing in his budget. And so you want to do that. Maybe there's some things that someone has worked on for a really long time and it's just never been able to be funded. And we said, you know what? Let's make it happen this year. Let's do it this year. There's just a lot of different factors. So that was a midpoint meeting. I wanted to familiarize our leadership with the bills that were going behind the budget. Then when it came to the end, we had actually a few of those midpoint meetings. Then when it came to the end, these bills were not strangers to them. They understood which bills were behind the budget. We had to negotiate with the Senate. They didn't like everything we had. We didn't like everything they had. So we have to talk it out and hash it out. But really, we went on policy. And I'll tell you, I was so proud of last year's budget. Remember, we provided a tax cut for the professional privilege tax. What that bill was initially going to do was just cut it $100 a year. And I said, well, you know what? That's like going out to dinner and you have your hors d'oeuvre and you don't stay for the main course. It just leaves you hungry, right? So I said, let's just cut it completely on these. We could cut it completely on 15 professions. That left 4 in there. So there's still 4 in there. The governor said he wants to get them this year, but we left in lobbyists. I didn't think anybody would cry over a lobbyist having to pay the professional privilege tax. We left in attorneys. Sorry about that to all my attorney friends. We also left in stockbrokers and stockbroker agents, and we left in physicians. So all of those still have to pay the professional privilege tax, but we cut everybody else out of there, 15 other professions. So I was really proud of that. But another thing I was really proud of is the Katie Beckett waiver. The Katie Beckett waiver, every state in the country uses this waiver except for Tennessee. It was initiated by Ronald Reagan. It is to help parents who are they're working, they have health care, but they have a severely handicapped child. That child needs extra services that they simply can't afford, and their insurance will not pay for. And so this waiver will help those families get those services for their child. And, you want to see a handicapped child be able to, be up to where their peers are when they're in school, or maybe they need different assistance with therapies or whatever that may be. The Katie Beckett waiver is going to make all that possible.
Well, State Representative Susan Lynn is here. We've got a lot more to talk about, but right now it's time for a break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:18. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Watching traffic still just crawl along out here through the Hickory Hollow area, trying to get in from Rutherford County from that wreck on 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. It's a crash. It's going to be in Wilson County. It's northbound on 231 near Apica Road. It's just north of Lebanon on 231. Watch for delays trying to get up through there. Buying or selling a home, call Nikisha and Tony Tate at Exit Master Realty. The Tate team, call 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Do you you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
When it comes to tough, versatile workhorses, nothing compares to Kubota's full line of RTV Series utility vehicles. Kubota's RTV X Series doesn't just lead the way on rugged dependability. It leads the pack. Right now, you can get 0 down and 0% APR financing for up to 48 months. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon or call them at 615-449-6171.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. We call our Friday thing, our Friday Senate report. I haven't put a handle on this one, but we do already between our two state representatives. Representative Lynn is here today and comes on alternate Mondays, as Representative Clark Boyd is our other one. And both of you serve Wilson County. The county may be pretty much halfway split, I guess, geographic and population-wise.
Geographically, I have about a third of the county.
Okay.
Clark has 2/3, plus he is part of 2 other counties.
Yeah.
So you can tell where all the population is in the county. It's in my area, but now the county has grown so large. I do expect, I was looking at the numbers, right now we represent 67,000 people. By the next census, we'll probably need to represent 68,000 people. And you can probably just split Wilson County in half.
You think
not geographically,
there'll be some reapportionment after the census is done?
Oh, there always is. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
There will be reapportionment.
Yeah, okay.
It's one man, one vote, right?
Yeah.
Every legislator has to represent the same number of people within 5%.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting jumping around a little bit. I was heading to the wanted to mention the state of the state address. The governor is supposed to give five or 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock probably.
6 o'clock tonight.
6 o'clock. Okay.
That's right.
What are you expecting from that?
Well, I can't say too much because I was asked not to.
You already know.
I know quite a bit. And, I think I can say the typical things that we can expect. We have to do capital maintenance on buildings. I know that's not glamorous. I know that's not exciting. But, like I was saying, how my husband and I, we had to put a new septic field out this last year. You have to maintain your property, right? You have to do things like that. They're not glamorous. They're not exciting. Boy, I would have liked to have spent that money on something else, but it has to be done. So there will be quite a few things in capital maintenance. There will be some capital construction projects. And so for colleges and universities and prisons. So those are just things, too, that as we grow, they have to be done as well. And a lot of those projects for the colleges, they wait a very, very long time for those projects. Last year, we're very proud in the budget. We did all of that with no debt. We had no debt at all in last year's budget. Tennessee took on 0 additional debt in last year's budget and the budget the year before that. So I do expect to see that this year as well. No additional debt. And Tennessee is looked at very favorably for the way we manage our debt. So capital maintenance, some capital construction projects, and then also addressing some pay issues with Tennessee state employees. It's really, really hard to keep state employees in some areas of state government. I'm talking corrections, prison guards, and some areas of social services and mental health. And, they can just get a better wage in the private sector. And what happens is we end up training them. Training is very, very expensive. And last year, the case was that 66% of prison guards were getting trained and not staying a year. Not staying a year because, the pay, and also, it's not the most desirable job in the world to be a prison guard. But
It's for sure not a glamour job.
We need people to be prison
Yeah.
guards. We
Yeah.
need them to be prison guards. And so things like that will be looked after this year. I do expect the governor to have a big announcement about an endowment that he's going to do that will be very helpful for schools and mental health. So I'm very excited about that. I think it'll do a lot of good in Tennessee.
Let me ask you this. You were talking about for 2 years and possibly a third year here that we wouldn't have any additional debt. In other words, we're not going to be borrowing money for a particular project. I'm just wondering, do we have some debt that is falling off every year?
Oh, we
and
do.
if so, we ought to be in better shape because of that.
We absolutely do. We have debt that falls off. We have debt that is refinanced and we get a better rate. Remember, Tennessee is a AAA bond rated state. So when we borrow money, we get just about the best rate possible. The only way we could have a better bond rating is to be a AAA plus state. And so what that says is that the bond rating agencies have a lot of confidence in Tennessee. Another thing I expect to see the governor do is add more money to the rainy day fund. We're at 7% of the revenues we collect right now, should be at 8%. But did you know, according to, that's our goal stated in statute, is 8% of revenues. Did you know that some states are as much as 25% that is in their rainy day fund? So Tennessee does have a few states are like that, but there are some. Tennessee does have a ways to go, but that would be extraordinary if we could get to that point. And it does make a difference. It gives businesses who might be coming to our state, looking at Tennessee, do we want to locate here, confidence in Tennessee. So not only does it give us a great bond rating, so if we borrow money, we borrow at the lowest rate possible, but it also gives us, makes Tennessee look really good. It gives people confidence in Tennessee, businesses confidence in Tennessee, which is very important. And I want you to know, when Tennessee borrows money, we only borrow money to build buildings. We pay cash for our roads. We do not borrow money for our operating revenue that we need to operate the state. We do not borrow money for that. It's only to build buildings. And like I said, it's been about 3 years since we borrowed money to build a building.
Well, we look very good. I think we hear of other states really being in dire financial straits, and
Right.
and we're just the opposite here.
Yeah, and a lot of the other states that are in dire financial straits, it's because of their pension funds, their pension accounts. Tennessee, our pension fund is over 95% funded, which means a very small amount each year has to come out of our general fund to pay our retirees. We also moved a while ago from a defined benefit to a defined contribution. So that just changes a lot in Tennessee. So now employees are contributing to a retirement fund, and they will their funds are invested, and they can decide on how they want their funds invested, and they will have that money to carry them through, until they die. The pension plan, the way that is, it's a defined benefit. So whatever you signed on as when you were first employed, whatever that deal was, that's your deal. That's what you'll get. That's your defined benefit for whenever you retire. And as you know, that may not last for the rest of your life.
Right.
So really, the way things are now puts a state employee in a much better position.
We got about a minute and a half here. You've kind of hinted at some things we can expect the governor to say tonight. Anything in what he's going to put out there that you have been made aware of that would be really of a controversial nature that would cause some heads to roll or whatever?
Oh, golly. Well, he is working on his pro-life legislation.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate when I got a call about, he had an announcement. I got a call the night before, Susan, we want you to speak, which means, hopefully I'll be carrying the legislation. The Republican leader will file the bill, and I will sign on next and hopefully carry the legislation. When I got to the press conference, they said, Susan, we want you to stand to the left of the governor, and you're going to have a chance to speak. So I got to speak at that press conference. So I'm very excited about it. We have a pro-life state. We have a pro-life governor. Is everybody going to like that? No, everybody's not going to like what he does. But you know what? Little babies who aren't born yet, they will sure like it. People say, well, you have to take care of the ones that you've got, the ones that are here already. And let me tell you, the ACEs work, the adverse childhood experiences work that Governor Lee is continuing, that Governor Haslam started, that is part of taking care of the little ones that we have now. And I expect the initiative that he announces tonight, that is also part of that ACEs agenda and helping build strong brains for Tennessee's children.
Well, we got to stop right here. It's already 7:30. Thanks for being with us. We'll be listening tonight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. State Representative Susan Lynn. That's part one of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lampride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. People are still staring at this earlier wreck out here on the interstate as you come in from Rutherford County on 24 westbound at OHB. Moving that earlier wreck at the 2000 block of Rosa Parks. Also had that wreck 231 north at African Road. That's north of Lebanon there in Wilson County. If you're buying or selling a home, call Nikisha and Tony Tate at Exit Master Realty. The Tate team. Call today, 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny, and the next, you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
John Boyce here from the Scoreboard Show. For the first time ever, we will be extending the Scoreboard Show to include all of Wilson County High School and college basketball. Trip Perry and I will give you all the basketball scores from the county, as well as interviews from the coaches every Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WANT FM 98.9. The Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Designers Carpet, Absolute Kubota, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Sheriff Robert Bryan and Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Dickey's Barbecue, and Southeast Motorsports.
You see it in their smile, you read it in their reviews, and you hear it all over town. People love the way they're treated at Wilson County Motors. Honest, upfront pricing, top dollar on every trade, and one of the largest selections of new and pre-owned vehicles around. Wilson County Motors aims to exceed your expectations in every way possible. Get your Mitchell discount at Wilson County Motors in Lebanon, just 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. WilsonCountyMotors.com.
And taking a look at the Rural Country forecast for today, increasing clouds, windy today, high near 71. Rain and wind tonight, low of 56 on Tuesday. Rain in the forecast, high of 64 with a low of 50. Rain to continue on Wednesday, high of 58 with a low of 47. That's your weather on WANT FM 98.9.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two. It is a Monday morning. And we're ready to talk about Rocky Williams Premier, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Mount Juliet, with the one we always do, Billy Mullinax. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It's nice to see you. Here we are in the month of February. Your month ended with a calendar this time, your automotive month. So
we're into a new month.
Right. And February, you got an extra day this year.
Yes, we do.
So that means you're going to have a bigger February.
It's going to be a good February, Coleman.
Well, we hope so. No haggle pricing at Rocky Williams Premier. Everybody pays the same great low price. And Billy comes here to remind you of that every Monday and bring me my second cup of coffee and talk about other pertinent things. But y'all got a good thing going there in Mount Juliet. You've been there, see, it was February the 1st.
3 years. That's right.
Saturday was three
years.
Third anniversary.
Yeah.
And really, you had done well here in Lebanon, but you kind of outgrew. You needed more room.
Yep.
And you got it in Mount Juliet. You're there on the north side, the best side of the interstate.
That's
as
exactly
far as
right.
traffic goes.
As far as traffic goes, it absolutely is. It's easy to get to, easy to get out of, and just like our prices, they're easy to buy. Because it is one price. It's no haggle pricing for everybody, Coleman, and we give you our very best price right up front, so you don't have to wonder if you'd have held out another day if the price would have been lower.
Yeah, that's it's just a different way of doing it, and when you do it the way you do, when you say everybody, that's what you mean, everybody, and nobody's going to get a lower price unless they qualify through some rebate that's specially for them, which we've talked about from time to time.
Yes.
But I mean, you've got that price that's on that car is the price for everybody.
That's exactly right, Coleman. And if I buy it, or even Rocky's children, if they buy a vehicle, they pay exactly what that price is. And
how's your inventory now,
Coleman? It is at the seams. We've got about 330 new vehicles and about 190 pre-owned vehicles. So
now he's done that. You don't bring any notes. You never bring any notes here, and this is off the top of your head. But you keep up with that as general manager.
Sure.
You keep up with a lot. I mean, you know from day to day.
Yep.
How many new and how many pre-owned are on that lot.
Yep. We've got a great inventory. Be a great time to come, and Coleman. A lot of times people think that because we're a dealership, even pre-owned are going to be the $30,000 price range and up, and we have cars under $10,000, pre-owned vehicles, and so we've got a price range to fit everybody's budget, regardless of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody, for whatever reason, but a lot of times it's what you can afford, and everybody can't afford a $40,000 pre-owned car, and
or even some people that don't want to pay that, and so we have a little bit of everything, and we have, of course, we do have the more expensive vehicles, but then we also have the, like I said, we've got under $10,000 vehicles, which a lot of times I think people don't think about us for pre-owned in that price range. They think they have to go to just a used car dealer, a little lot in order to get something like that.
But you do your pre-owned cars. I mean, it's still the no haggle way.
Absolutely.
And so you don't worry about somebody else being able to get a better deal than you because the price is right there.
The price is right there, Coleman. It's on our website. We're proud of our prices, and so we put it on our website. You don't have to do anything to get that. And we need to talk about our website.
Yeah,
Coleman.
and speaking of that website, RockyWilliams.com.
Might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
A lot of people do start there. The web, the internet, the website, the way we do things anymore, all that's changed so much.
Yep.
And I mean, that's just a vital part of the way you do. If you didn't have all your cars there, and of course years ago you didn't do that, but now they're right there and you're not ashamed of your price, so you put them there on every one of them too.
That's exactly right. And I think most people probably start on the internet, Coleman, this day and time. And we've got our price posted right there. You don't have to click to get your e-price, or you don't have to click for your best price, or click here for today's price. All kind of things out there that a lot of automotive people do just to get your information. so that they can keep calling you again and again and again.
Some of that is quite deceptive, too.
Well, it is. It is. That's the reason we give you our best price right up front, and you don't have to do anything to get it, and it's just right there.
RockyWilliams.com, and you've got other information, of course, but I think the main thing people want to see, there's your inventory and that no haggle price.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's what they go there for. There are some additional information. There's our hours of operation and just different information. We've even got our aquarium on there, Coleman.
Have you really?
Yeah, we've got a little short video of our aquarium talking a little bit about the fish that are in it. And But we've got a lot of stuff there. But most people go there, 99% of them go there for the inventory.
RockyWilliams.com, and you are open, your sales department at least, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yep.
Which 13 hours a day,
Plenty
Monday
of time.
through Saturday, yes. And February is you've got 2 days, well, 1 day really in the books.
One day, and it was a great day. It was a great day. Saturday was lots of people out, and so we're expecting a great February.
Well, I hope you continue today and have a good week, and we'll talk about it next Monday.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Billy Mullinax, he's the general manager for Rocky Williams Premier, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. We're 20 minutes before the hour, and Sheriff Robert Bryan joins us to talk his monthly visit to Coleman and Company, and on the second half for a couple of months here. But, Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
I guess before when we first started, when you first became sheriff, I had never, with Sheriff Ash, had a particular time for him to come. He just came occasionally when I asked him. But when you got started, it seemed good to have you here every month. And then you told me you liked Mondays, so I always try to save a Monday for you. And usually it's the first of the month. The only thing that has been a problem is during the legislative session, we had the others kind of, I won't say set in stone, but didn't really want to move them. And so during February and March, maybe April, we'll have you on at 7:30 instead of 7. But I look at it in a positive way here. There are people that listen during the whole hour, and there's some listen the first half and some listen the second half. So this way, you got a shot at,
That's right.
at a
Mix
different
it up,
audience.
mix it up a little bit.
Well, anyway, it's good to see you this morning.
Good to
How
see
are you?
Good. Busy. A lot going on at the office.
Well, let's talk about the Super Bowl first. You said you didn't get to see but the first half.
I got about a little bit past the first half, and I gave it up. But it was a fourth quarter ball game, I understand.
Well,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah.
There's some things about that game that reminded me of the Titans game against Kansas City.
The past two games they've played, they've come back like that, sort of like that.
And I mean, I think the best team won, but I kept thinking about what if the Titans had been playing San Francisco and wondering how they would have done, and I'm not so sure they couldn't have beat them if they could establish their running game.
That's right. Their running game's real important this year for the Titans.
And they Kansas City has a way of coming back that's just almost unreal.
It's amazing.
When Houston jumped, Texas, let's see, the Houston Texans. When Houston jumped out 21-0, I believe,
right.
I thought, man, they're gonna win.
And it come back 50-21.
Unbelievable. Well, that Mahomes is a real good quarterback, but a little bit of them reminds me of Steve McNair. McNair could get out of some horrible situations and get rid of that ball or run it or whatever. And Mahomes, he's a good quarterback, but he's scrappy. And even with 2 interceptions yesterday.
That's right. They played a good game, though.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's enough of that. You're not here to talk about.
You can talk about whatever you want to, Coleman.
Well, we got enough time to do this before the break, and then we'll get on other things. But it always comes up about the jail being crowded, and that we have inmates here. And I was talking to somebody that you know, and a good friend of mine, and he keeps saying, "Why do we keep housing those state prisoners? I don't think we have to." Explain that.
Tell that person to call me.
Huh?
Tell that person to call me. But, yeah. No, it's not that easy. We're not housing state inmates because we're making money or because we're housing inmates state inmates because we have to. Once you're a state inmate and you've been sentenced in this county, it's the sheriff's responsibility to hold them. I just can't get rid of them. The state's not taking them. If they'd take them, I'd gladly take them, but they're not taking them. All the state penitentiaries are overcrowded. County jails they're backing them up in county jails all across the state, and there's really nothing. The law says the sheriff will hold them until the state takes possession of them.
There's another issue that I don't know how it concerns you necessarily, but we hear about some of these state prisons where they contract with other people to run them, and the one over at Hartsville, I think, is this way. And then we hear about maybe manpower shortages or problems that develop, and some bad situations. And I wonder if our state legislature is attuned to that and wanting to do anything about it.
I think they are. I've heard some stuff brought up down there in the past year or so about what's going on in the prisons, what's going on in these privately run facilities, and we got one, like you said, over in Hartsville that's it's got a lot of media attention over the past since it's been open, and I heard Representative Lynn a while ago say something about taking care of correctional officers, and counties across the state are dealing with the same thing. Why would somebody want to work in that environment when they can go right out here to one of these factories or industrial places and make more money, but it's hard to retain employees, especially in that environment.
But I want to think that even though maybe the average citizen would rather we didn't have a crowded jail here, I can't help but think that maybe the inmates are better off, the jail is better run, and the situation is better in our Wilson County jail or in other similar ones than in some of these state prisons.
I agree. It's and a lot. It's all about. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, because I've never stepped foot in one of them. But it's we've got a well-run facility there at the office. They got good people working for us. Got good administration overseeing it, but when you get into an overcrowded situation, it's hard to you want to have them type of problems that these penitentiaries are having, and we're seeing some of that right now.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank too the fact that you not only cut your teeth, your professional teeth, you ran the jail for quite some time under Sheriff Ash, so you are very familiar with the whole jail situation.
That, and plus, and plus, we're talking about building a jail here in the near future. I was right there side by side with Terry whenever we built the facility we're in right now. So we've done that, and so we've got all that stuff that we learned from that project that we don't want to take into this new project. So it's a process, and it's good to have that knowledge.
Well, before we go to the break here, you're working on that. Anything new to report about the new jail that we're hopefully going to have?
I think we have. We're real close. I think we had one of our last meetings with architects, putting some touches on it. The timeline is it probably is going to go out for bid here probably the next couple of weeks. I know the county commission, the committees and different things will start meeting 1st of March, 2nd of March. To start discussing some type of funding mechanism for it.
Okay. Sheriff Robert Bryan is here. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental. Fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Still slower than normal on 24 westbound up through the Hickory Hollow area. All from that earlier wreck we had out there around OHB on 24 westbound. Coming in from Rutherford County, Dickerson Pike at Trinity Lane. Still working that accident. Still trying to finishing up that accident on 231. It's near African Road. That's north of Lebanon there in that part of Wilson County. Donut Distillery in East Nashville offers delicious mini donuts, signature donuts with famous whiskey glaze. Stop by Donut Distillery today in East Nashville, 311 Gallatin Avenue. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Someday you may wake up and think, uh-oh, I'm running out of time to do something about retirement. Waypoint Financial Partners can help you do something now that may provide a solid future for you and your family. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC. Coleman and Company, welcome to our final segment here on Monday morning. It's a warm Monday, especially for the 3rd of February. But Sheriff Robert Bryan is here. A little bit unusually warm here.
If you don't like it today, wait till tomorrow. It might be cold. So it's, I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some rain and turn a little bit colder, I think.
Great Tennessee weather.
We've talked about the jail situation a little bit and corrections in general. Are you hiring right now?
We pretty much always have some type of opening in our corrections division. I know there's some openings that we're going to post here in the near future inside our corrections. Like I was telling you earlier, there's a lot of rollover there. And tell you the truth, a lot of our people that, we pull out to go on the road, patrol officers, we pull them from the jail. And that's a benefit to us because we know their work ethics and we know, how they handle themselves in an environment like that. So so there's always a little bit of turnover caused by that, plus caused by, like I said a while ago, it's not made for them. It takes a special person to work back there. And, they get in there and they think that's what they want to do. And they decide they can go out here on 109 or Maddox Simpson or wherever and make $3 or $4 more an hour. So you just, and they're young, and I understand. And it's just sometimes it's hard to keep employees back there.
Let me change the subject abruptly here because we haven't heard anything in the last month or so anyway, I guess, about 911 and the situation. Is anything changed or anything in the works right now?
I know there's still some discussion about, I know 911 has moved into the WEMA building while they're doing some reconstruction down there. And they went ahead with their reconstruction. And as of anything drastically changed since the last time we talked, no, it hadn't. We tried to make that step to co-locate as we called it, and that didn't work out. And I'm sure there's going to be some more discussions about it here over the next month or two, and try to figure out what everybody wants to do. And it's and our system's not broke. Okay, it's not. And there's a lot of stuff on the media and different things that they say it is, but it's not really. It's not broke. I saw a legislator out of Sevier County filed some type of bill requiring all counties to go in together, counties and cities. I know it had a House sponsor, but I don't think it has a Senate sponsor. So we're going to keep an eye on that to see where that's. I called into that representative up there and see, get his thoughts about what he's trying to do, and the sheriff up there in Loudoun County, and we've had some discussions. So we're just waiting to get back to him, see what actually he's trying to do with that type of legislation.
Do we really need something like that to spur us on?
I don't think so. I think we all need to sit down at the table and just figure something out if we're going to do it or not. But as I said a while ago, our system's not broke. Anytime you can improve on anything. And I think our 911 office does that every day. I think all of our city police departments do it every day. We try to improve on what we're doing. So, we'll just have to wait and see right now.
Anything that out of the unusual? I'm just thinking about calls that you're getting now. It's pretty much just more of them, but about the same percentage for domestic violence or for people complaining about people going too fast down the road or all them kind of things?
Yeah, actually, I was looking at my phone. Somebody's complaining about speeders right now. But it's it's pretty much across the board. It's hard to keep up. We always have domestics. We always have burglaries. We always have car burglaries. We talk about that all the time. Lock your door. Lock your doors. No, you won't be a victim. And it's
lock your house door. Lock your car door.
You used to didn't have to do that. You got to do it now. But it's it's hard nowadays with the growth that we're having. With all this growth comes more traffic, more people, more cars, more. It's just hard keeping up, and what we're finding now is when somebody moves here, they may be going to work in Nashville or wherever, that they figure out the shortcuts, and then they'll cut through neighborhoods or cut through this back road to get to that next road to get around some traffic, and it's putting traffic on roads that wasn't there before, and they're speeding, and I understand because just about every time somebody calls me and says, "Hey, can you work some traffic out on?" There's no way we can sit out there 24 hours a day and work traffic on every road, but just about 90% of the time, 85% of the time, somebody calls, and I'll send my guys out there and focus on it for a few days and try to slow them down. Pretty much they're right. We write a bunch of tickets on that road. I had one the other day down Mount Jewett. This man called me, and actually one of the county commissioners called also, and I put them out there for 3 or 4 days, and it would amaze you at the number of people that they stopped. So it's important to keep us informed.
And they are excessively speeding.
Yes.
It's not just 3 or 4 miles over the speed.
Yeah, and this particular road's not wide road. It's just a little 2-lane road, and we found where a lot of these people are just cutting through to get to where they're going, and that road's not made for that traffic. So we're going to continue to do that. We don't like writing tickets, really don't. But if there's a problem there, and if that's what it takes to slow some people down, save a life, whatever, we're going to do it.
Well, it's if the speeding keeps up. I think what almost goes without saying. If you have an accident, the faster you're going, the more likely there's going to be more damage and more injuries and even life loss, this kind of thing. And you certainly don't want that to happen.
That's right. That's right. And just people, if in life, if people would just slow down.
I can understand somebody wanting to take a shortcut or understand why some of these back roads.
But you got to understand what road you're on. It's different. It's not the same 4-lane highway that you was on.
But the speeding part. If you're going to do that, you better not speed.
That's right. That's right. Because like I said, we'll focus on them areas. If we get complaints, we're going to focus on them areas, and but it's something we have to do to protect people and
we were talking about people leaving, maybe going to work in another county or whatever, and then I'm thinking about where I'm headed to here is these porch pirates. A lot of people are having stuff delivered. Of course, a lot more of that probably in December, but people order stuff all the time, and there's delivery trucks, FedEx and UPS and whoever else are around everywhere. Do you have a lot of complaints or a lot of reporting on people stealing those?
Like you said, we actually, knock on wood, it wasn't bad this year. We had some because I think the word you see this all the time, every day, just about on the news of somebody's camera catching somebody stealing something, and I think people are starting to figure it out. Maybe I need to send this to my office instead of my house when I'm not there, or send it to somebody else's house that's going to be home or something like that. But like I said, this past year we had a few, and but it's I saw, actually, we go back to another legislature filed a bill last week. I think I saw it to enhance the penalty for stealing stuff off people's porches. So,
we got 2.5 minutes here. Since you mentioned this, and this we ought to talk about just a little bit. You definitely watch the legislative agenda and pay particular attention to anything that affects law enforcement and in more particular the sheriff's department itself. So I'm wondering if there are any bills that you've seen that you're just totally opposed to, or any you're really pushing, or any legislative thing we can talk about.
The Sheriff's Association, actually, we're having a meeting this week of our legislative committee to go over and them bills and figure out what's out there. What's anticipated to be out there, and I'll know more after that because we're going to look at what's going to affect the counties and the sheriffs across the state. So we'll do that. I think it's on Wednesday, I believe it is, and we'll go from there. But let me say one thing: our local representation here in our county is just terrific. They're focused in on this county. Representative Lynn that was here, Representative Boyd, and Senator Pody. I mean, they're on top of keeping their eye out for this county, and I almost want to thank them for that. And I get phone calls all the time from them. What do you think about this? Yeah. And that means a lot. And but like I said, I'll know more after the meeting Wednesday, I believe.
Well, is there anything that you yourself, for us here, that you would really like to see?
Well, you're going to every year you're going to see your marijuana bills, you're going to see your gun bills, and you're going to see asset forfeiture bills. You're going to see mental health bills, and that's the type of stuff some of the ones that we keep an eye on to see what direction it's going. And it's we fought off several of these marijuana and asset forfeiture bills over the past several years, and I think we're going to continue to have to, deal with them and see where they're going.
Well, we've about come to the end of our time here. I'm sorry you didn't get to see the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
I hate that. It looked just as good this morning on TV, I think.
Sheriff Robert Bryant has been my guest. We'll see you next month in this same time slot in March, this same day, or I guess it'll be the second.
She got it wrote down. So
there you go. Thanks for being with us today, Sheriff. Appreciate it. That is it for Monday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.